In our interview this week, Dr. Ibrahim Kana talks about the implementation of Saving 1 Million Lives program. Dr. Ibrahim Kana, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's talk about Saving 1 Million Lives. I mean, that was launched way back in 2012, sort of repackaged in 2015 and all of that.
That's correct.
And this is primarily to help accelerate the growth and improvement of maternal and child health outcomes in Nigeria.
That's
But
correct.
we would like to know, what sort of progress have you recorded so far?
Yeah, I think I will say so far so good. More often than not, people talk about bad news about the health status in Nigeria. But I think between 2015 to date, I think the bottle is half full. And I'm pleased to say that there has been some improvement after many years of redundancy and retrogression. And I say this because we have been conducting surveys from the DHS of 2013 to the Health and Nutrition Survey 2014, Health and Nutrition Survey 2015, the Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey 2016, and then this year, 2018, that we also conducted the National Health and Nutrition Survey. Now, these are surveys that actually help in measuring progress or otherwise in maternal, newborn, and child health. And I say the good news is there is steady, though slow, progress in the delivery of maternal, newborn, and child health in the country.
But it's not significant, is it?
Well, that's why it's better to say you have a bottle which is half full than half empty.
But can you describe that as half full when it's not significant?
No. You see, when you have over 925,000 women from statistics dying every year, now you have an immunization coverage improving by 10 percentage points. You have the prevalence of pregnant women being screened for HIV during pregnancy increasing by 5 percentage point increase. You equally have improvement in the number of women or children that actually have access to long-lasting insecticide-treated nets, also increasing. Now, certainly what it means is that death in children, both morbidity and mortality in children under 5 and children under reproductive age is actually reducing. What we're going to do next steps now is to actually calculate, which of course in the next survey that we're conducting, the National Demographic and Health Survey, will tell us, and certainly there will be an obvious reduction in maternal, newborn, and child
What
deaths.
states do you have the highest number of reductions?
Incidentally, over 15 states have improvements within 2015 to date, and they're scattered across the country. We are pleased with that, because it's better for us to be moving forward, no matter how little the progress is, than moving backward. You agree with me? Because over the past 20 years, despite the huge investments in health sector, we haven't achieved this level of improvement. Therefore, we will pat ourselves on the back, but at the same time, not losing focus. That is what matters most now. That with this improvement, we should not beat our drums and say hallelujah, but instead, we should look forward and continue to do the good things that we're doing, the things that have been making us not to achieve progress. We have identified them, and for us to now begin to address and move forward as a country.
What is the dominant factor you notice in all the surveys from 2015 up to date? I mean, before you tell us what your findings are about, it appears malnutrition is constant.
Malnutrition is constant, yeah.
We have figures here which is quite depressing. We have approximately 50% of under 5 deaths in Nigeria attributable to malnutrition. An estimated 12.9 million children are stunted.
Correct.
That's staggering.
Oh, it is staggering, and that's one area that we're concerned. Now, that may not be unrelated to the level of insurgency in many parts of the country, particularly northeastern part of Nigeria. And you see that truly the data actually is largely diluted by northwest and northeast, which you have higher number of insecurity in the last 5 to 10 years. But we also worry that even in the southeast and southwestern part of Nigeria and southern part of Nigeria, we still have some level of malnutrition. That is the area that we're actually worried, because in those parts of Nigeria, socioeconomic status and educational status, both women, especially women, is higher compared to another part of Nigeria.
So you're saying in spite of World Bank assistance, about $500 million, we still have this staggering figure.
But there's good news in other areas. Certainly we're not doing well in the area of nutrition, but we're doing well in other areas.
Why is it impossible to beat the nutrition factor?
Certainly not impossible. It's not something that is impossible. We have analyzed the data. I'll give you an example. More of the data shows that the number of children that actually suffer from malnutrition are between the ages of 6 months and 36 months.
Right.
Why? And at birth, we saw over 97% of children at birth actually being breastfed. But they're being breastfed up to 6 months. Beyond 6 months, they drop. Therefore, the study shows that children between 0 to 6 months actually are doing well. There's no malnutrition in that age. The reason is because they're being breastfed.
Apparently.
Obviously. And therefore, beyond that, women don't exclusively breastfeed. And that is one area that we have to focus as a people, that we must develop the habit of exclusive breastfeeding. Now, women advocates in Nigeria constantly talk about giving maternity leave for women, which everybody must encourage. Now, despite the maternity leave, which means women are not breastfeeding, why are mothers not breastfeeding their children exclusively? And there's a direct correlation between exclusive breastfeeding and reduction in morbidity and mortality of children between 6 months and 36 months. That is where the problem is. Issue of breastfeeding. Therefore, you remember last 10 to 20 years, there was the issue of baby-friendly initiative, where mothers are encouraged to breastfeed their babies immediately after birth and to continue to breastfeed for the next 24 months. We stopped it. Why? Now, that is where an area...
Now, you're telling me that is responsible for the malnutrition?
It is part of the reason, no doubt about that, because there's a direct...
Is that a major reason?
Major reason. There's a direct correlation between breastfeeding and malnutrition. If you look at mothers that exclusively breastfeed their babies, you will rarely see malnutrition.
Now, I'm saying that in spite of the huge intervention, why is this seemingly impossible to tackle?
That's why we're asking ourselves, and that's one area that we're actually focusing on. We've identified, like I mentioned, areas.
Wait, are you saying that money is being pumped to address these issues?
Absolutely.
And you're not seeing results?
No, but you see, in as much as we're not seeing results, we're not moving backwards. We want to see better results. No doubt about that. As a people, including you, Gloria, we want to see results. We will be pleased to see mothers exclusively breastfeeding. This is what we're also doing now, advocating, like you do all the time on television, on radio, on newspaper, on social media, advocating to pregnant women. It is a responsibility, not only for the government, but for everybody in the society.
What kind of measures do you take? Are state governments really in tune with the strategies you adopt?
Now, that is where this program comes in. More often than not, we talk about achieving universal health coverage as a country. Whatever we do as federal government, if the state governments don't key into it, actually, it's like taking one step forward and 2 steps backward.
Is that not where the problem lies?
That is where the problem lies. And that's why the federal government now, under this program, as against in the past where federal government implements program from Abuja, the program realizes the fact that, look, for us to move forward, we have to work with the states. Let us use some levers. One of the levers is we have access to funds. We got the funds from the World Bank. Instead of us spending the money in Abuja, over 82% of the funding is now going directly to the states. Directly to all the states of the federation.
And who monitors?
Now, we monitor. We monitor. But you remember, Nigeria is a federation. Therefore, the healthcare system is also in that respect. So our monitoring is loose because you cannot punish any state. That's the irony of it.
So why is it a surprise that you spend money and not seeing significant results?
So that's why now we are now punishing the states. We are now doing a carrot and stick approach under the program for results. You improve, we give you resources. You don't improve, we say, sorry, come back next year. And that's why this year, after the survey, like I said, 15 states improved, we gave them resources as high as $20 million for performance.
How many states have you given so far?
The last disbursement in 2016 were 15 states, and this year actually 14 states. Now, what it means is that any state that does not perform, you don't get any resources from federal government. That is the only way federal government can actually control the states, because they are largely independent. You know how the Constitution of Nigeria is structured. Therefore, for us as federal government, we've said, now look, we'll continue to give you support, but we can only give you support based on improvement. We set a clear criteria, very, very clear, but simple criteria.
I must thank you very much indeed, Dr. Ibrahim Kana, for coming on the program.
You're welcome, Gloria.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your mails and tweets as always. Keep sending in your views and comments using the email address and Twitter handle on your screen. Also, be sure to share anything happening within your locality. Don't you forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezike. See you again.